All right, Shalom. I'll start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. And a hearty salutation to you brothers pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four winds. All right, got a lesson on don't allow your bad roots to hinder your works. Okay, and what I mean by that is, well, let me just go into it. This is gene, the definition of gene. Biology, a part of a cell that controls or influences the appearance, growth, etc. of a living thing. All right. A specific sequence of nucleotides in the DNA or RNA that is located usually on the chromosome, and that is the functional unit of inheritance controlling the transmission and expression of one or more traits by specifying the structure of a particular polypeptide, and especially a protein, or controlling the function of other genetic material. Example, she inherited a good set of genes from her parents. Now what this is saying is that your gene determines a lot of things that and traits that you may have. Like some brothers may have where they're going bald, they're losing hair, and that's a genetic trait of your dad, your earthly dad. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to say father. You know what I'm saying? That's a trait you get from him. You know what I'm saying? You might get broad shoulders. You know what I'm saying? That's a trait that you got from your dad. You might get the color of your mother's eyes, but that all goes through your genetics. And we're gonna talk about not letting that hinder you, okay? Because your dad could have habits of always wanting to fuck bitches. You know what I'm saying? And it becomes to where it's like, God damn, all that nigga ever done, that nigga just like his daddy. All he ever wanted to do was fuck bitches. You know what I'm saying? Or that nigga, man, that nigga attitude, man, he get that shit just from his mom's. You know, his mom's the same way, bro. Always right about everything. You know what I'm saying? But those are traits that comes from your genes. They're in your genetics, and you can pass those traits down to your children. Okay? This is John 6:63. It is the spirit that quickeneth, that makes alive. Okay? The flesh profiteth nothing. The words I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. Now, this is a separation. Separation, okay? So we see it makes a distinction from the spirit. It said, and the flesh. It said the spirit, it is the spirit that quickeneth. It's the spirit that makes alive, okay? The flesh is worthless. Okay, we living in the flesh, yada, 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 but it's worthless, okay? And what you have to understand is the genetics that comes from your dad and your mom, okay? That is flesh. That's why you have mood swings. You know what I'm saying? That's the fleshly part. But it says it is the spirit. So when you're made alive, you no longer deal in the flesh. All right? This is Matthew 26:41. Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. What's tempted? The flesh. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. So we trying not to deal with the flesh. We trying to deal in full spirit. Okay? It may be sometimes you want to put a video up, but your flesh telling you, I'm tired. Okay? Or you have some people that just might be lazy. And that's a gene that's inherited from your earthly parents through the flesh. Okay? This is Galatians chapter 5. Start at 16. It says, this I say then, walk in the Spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Okay? For the flesh lusteth against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary. They're against each other, the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. Your flesh gonna want to do wicked things, okay? But your spirit is gonna battle against it. You're at a battle against yourself. So much for fucking Esau, the nigger woman, you know what I'm saying? Your boss on your job. But you battling yourself. But don't allow the flesh and the genetics of your parents to get in the way of you doing the spiritual thing. Okay? You can get in the way of yourself, but ultimately these genetics was passed to you by your parents. Like if you look at your parent and your dad got let's say he has a good habit of always taking care of his health, and it was always in him, and that's what people knew him for. Those traits could come down to you. You know what I'm saying? Everything in this body, everything you got is genetics from your parents. Okay? It says, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. Because your flesh shit, your flesh want to do all this worldly shit. Your flesh don't want to do nothing righteous, bruh. But your spirit, that's what want to do righteous. And they're battling against each other. It's a constant battle. All right? This is the word root. A part of the body of a plant that develops typically from a radical that grows downward into the soil and whoring the plant and absorbing nutrient and the moisture. So that's what we are when we become awakened, okay? You become a root, and your root basically determines if it goes down deep into the soil, because everything begins at the root. It shows, your root shows what kind of tree is going to be brought forth, or what kind of plant is going to be brought forth. If you have weak genetics, when you plant that seed, those genetics that's in that root is going to be weak. Okay? But we're made new when we're quickeneth through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua to be a strong root. Okay? That makes sense. All right? Let me get down to this scripture. So it says, I put physically our roots run in one direction on the physical side from our parents, and spiritually run to another. So you're battling a physical root and genetics, but you want to be in the mind frame of the spiritual root and genetics, okay? Because the spiritual root and genetics, they come straight from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Those are the roots that you want dominating your life, okay? That's the root, and that's the place you want to be. All right, you don't want to be more on you totally want to be on the side of the spiritual, but in this flesh we are not allowed to, okay? Because you're gonna battle with the flesh, because it's genetics. That's what's in you, okay? This is John chapter 15 verse 4. It says, abide in me, and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself. Okay, here we go. We're going to the roots. And we are supposed to be rooted in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. We're supposed to be the branches. Okay? It says, except it abide in the vine, no more can ye except ye abide in me. Yahushua is that vine. Okay? We are branches from him. Okay? So if a branch fall off a tree and it gets roots, and its roots go down into the ground, if you're a broke off branch and you're rooted, your roots, when that tree grows up, it's supposed to have strong genetics and a strong foundation of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, that when you sprout up, that the fruit that you bring forth, they're gonna be good fruit. All right. It says, I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me, ye can do nothing, because he's the root. Okay? I mean, he's the vine. He is the vine. So we come from a good stock of genetics through Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua, if that makes sense. Okay? If you can receive it. Okay? It says, if a man abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch and is withered. That means if the genetics not good in that branch, it's gonna shrivel up and wither away because the roots were not good. Okay, and men gather them and cast them into the fire. So if your genetics, if you let your physical genetics overtake your spiritual roots in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, then you're going to be one of those branches that's cast off, and when those missiles hit, you're going to be burnt the fuck up. Plain and simple. All right? It says, if ye abide in me and my words, because it said the words I speak, they are spirit and they are life. That's the root that you're supposed to be abiding in. Okay? It says, and if ye in me and my words abide in you, ye shall ask what ye will, and it shall be done unto you. Okay? Because the branch has a direct line to the vine. It all works in one. Okay? It all works in one. But you do have the physical. The physical tries to hinder, because it said the spirit war with the flesh. Okay? So they constantly battling. You're in a constant battle with yourself. All right? So if things aren't getting done, it's because you're allowing your physical to outdo your spiritual. And you always want to be on that spiritual side. Okay? It's hard in this flesh sometimes, but you got to understand that it's a bigger goal. That's why some people, the trait from their parents is they don't have patience. They can have no patience, okay? Their parents might not be patient, so they're not going to be patient. Therefore, they allow that to overtake them. Next thing you know, they reside no longer in the faith, all right? This is Jeremiah 1:15. It says, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee and ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. So, it's going to be spiritual men that's ordained, and they're going to get this, okay? They're going to be totally grounded spiritually. Their roots are going to run deep. It's going to be all spiritual, all right? But you're going to have some that is going to let the physical and those bad roots and those bad genetics outweigh the spiritual, all right? Okay, we are called to be righteous vine. I mean, we are called to be a righteous vine, so we need to act like it. We need to stay more in the spiritual, all the way in the spiritual side. Because the flesh, it don't profit shit. You get nothing out of being carnal. Anything you do that's worldly of the flesh, it's nothing benefited from it, because everything is going to be destroyed anyway, all right? This is Deuteronomy 30:19. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you. I have set before you life which is the spiritual side, okay, and death, which is the physical side, okay? So you have the life, that's the spiritual, and that's the good roots of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and you have death. That's choosing to be carnal. That's choosing to live that fleshly life, okay? It says choose life. Therefore, choose life. Choose that spiritual side and go through all the things you have to go through, because it's a reward at the end of it. It says that thou and thy seed may live. Thy seed. What do you do with seeds? You plant them. What comes from them? Whatever blossoms out the ground. Okay? If it's a seed to a certain particular kind of tree or fruit or whatever, that's what's gonna come up. All right? So we gotta choose life, man. We gotta act like we're of that righteous vine. We can't be overtaken by things of this flesh. All right, and here's why. This is Colossians 3:9-10. It says, lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds. So that fleshly shit, you basically kick the nigga to the curb. That nigga out of there. All right, he might try to surface sometimes, but that nigga gone. Okay, because you put him off. Yahweh Shai, when he quickened you and woke you up, that nigga gone. He shouldn't be nowhere around, and people should see a difference in you because you're living through the spirit now. All right, it says, and have put on the new man. That's when you was awakened by Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and that branch and those roots must go into righteousness. All right. It says, which is renewed in knowledge of all the things we know, the name, laws, so on and so forth. Okay, faith, all that, after the image of him that created him. All right, this is Ephesians chapter 4. I'm gonna start at 22. It says that ye put off concerning the former conversation of the old man. Even your conversation in your daily walk is different. All right, because you no longer make it of the physical. All right, you're not looking at other men's wives. You know what I'm saying? You're not doing niggly shit, because that nigga is dead. All right, you look at women now, and you will see a woman, and she'll have some tight ass shorts on, head full of blonde weave. That shit don't attract you no more. You wishing death upon these bitches, because that's some wicked shit. Or you see a faggot, and you look like, man, that's fucking off, bro. That's some wicked ass shit, bro. Because you don't look the same way you was in the world. Even though in the world you saw there was some bullshit, but it was more like, so what? Not my fucking life. I don't care. Now we look at it like, man, we condemning motherfuckers. Like, that shit wicked. You're gonna be put to death for that shit. All right? It says, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust. Deceitful lust. Basically, it's vanity. Okay? Things of this world is vanity. And what wants things of this world? Your flesh. That carnal man. All right? And be renewed in the spirit of your mind. That means having your mind transformed. Once your mind is transformed in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, you become a new creature. It says, and that ye put on the new man, which after the Most High is created in righteousness and in true holiness. And that's how you do it. Okay? It's a different walk. You're a different, hey, the next scripture gonna say it all. Let's say, this is Romans 6, and I'm starting at 6. Knowing this, that our old man is crucified with him, Yahweh Shai, that the body of sin might be destroyed, that henceforth we should not serve sin. And what do you serve sin with? Physically. Okay? You physically serve sin because you do things that's opposing to the spirit of righteousness of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. It says that the body of sin might be destroyed, that henceforth we should not serve sin, for he that is dead is freed from sin. Okay? So that old nigga, we not fighting that battle of that old nigga no more. We know what's going on. All right? We actually know. We have a common knowledge. All right? So keep it spiritual, brothers. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, safety, and blessings to you, Akims. Shalom.